Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop in the Heavenly Backyard Garden. We're approaching the middle of May, and in my garden, things are beginning to really produce color. The daylilies are really beginning to bloom en masse right now, and even more yet to come. My garden usually peaks between May 15th and June 15th. That's when the most abundant time to go strolling through the garden with your cup of coffee or your mug of beer in the afternoon or evening hours to enjoy Mother Nature at her best. And today, this video, I'm going to show you some of my Daylily Care. Also, in the vegetable garden, I'm going to be harvesting my potatoes. The red potatoes that I planted in early February, right around Groundhog Day, February 2nd, I'll be digging up today, some of them anyway. And also the dahlias are waking up, and it's time to plant dahlias. So I'm going to show you how I use my techniques to planting my dahlias here in the Heavenly Backyard Garden. So stick around and welcome to the garden. I'm going to be planting a dahlia tuber this afternoon. This is a variety called Santa Claus. It's going to grow about this high, and it's a red and white striped dahlia. It looks really good. But anyway, I already have the label made, Santa Claus, right here. And these are the tubers right here. This is the way the tubers come if you order them through the mail or from in a store or so forth. And they're kind of like potatoes, and there is a little eye located around, just like you see on potatoes. The potato have the eyes. And you want to take the make sure the stem portion is up, and if you see the eyes already growing, that's a good start that the dahlias are waking up. They wake up on their own good time, whenever they feel like it, but usually in the springtime they do come up. Here's another one with a bigger eye coming in on it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these two tubers right in this area here between these other two dahlias that I have set up. Now the ground has been worked, and in it I have some 10-10-10 and some triple superphosphate in the ground to help with the root growth of the dahlias themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig an opening right over here, and there's a root I missed. Well, we'll get that out later. Anyway, that's from the orange tree behind me. I'm just going to plant a hole here, and then I'm going to take the tuber. Just going to set it in the hole with the top up. And I'm going to put the one next to it as well. These two right here, actually I got a third one. Let's put the third one in there. So I'll have a nice clump of Santa Claus dahlias right over here. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. I'll cut that root in just a minute. Anyway, I just cover them up lightly, and like so. That's all I need to do. Now you don't want to overwater these because they could get some root rot. Once they get established, then you can start watering a little bit more frequently, but they don't take much to get going. And clean that up over there. There it is. The tuber is ready to go. And I'm going to put some this pine straw down. As I showed you earlier, I like to crunch up the pine straw with my lawnmower. I take a regular pine straw and I just pass it through the lawnmower, and it sets down, form a nice mat, and it lies evenly on the ground, and it's much easier to spread when it's ground up like this. Now, in other cases like shrubs and all that, you don't want to do that. You just want to put the whole pine straw down and have a fluffy layer there. But what I want here is to form a mat to help keep the weeds out, but let the water in and the air through at the same time. And the dahlias will like that. The mulch helps with several things. Of course, it helps with the weed control, and also helps with the climate control. It helps stabilize the temperature somewhat, not reaching extremes from cool in the morning to hot in the afternoon. It stays warm in the morning and then upper warm in the afternoon hours. So that helps with the plant growth as well, and the plant vitality to go along with that. So there we have it. Santa Claus right here in the dahlia garden. I'm over here in the potato patch that I planted last early February, right around Groundhog Day. I put these potatoes in the ground, and they were only about that big, little tiny potatoes that I had left over from last year. Anyway, they were showing growth, their eyes were sprouting, and they want it to grow. So let's dig some of these up now. This is the middle portion of May, May 11th to be exact. And when digging potatoes, you got to be careful not to shish kebab them with the spade. I usually do, or in the shovel in this case. I usually end up slicing a couple in half as I dig them up. But you want to get the shovel under the potato and lift up the potato. Let's see if I got anything in here. There it is. All right. Let's dig up, lift, and there's a potato right there. Here's one right here. I've done better. There's another one here. This is all from one plant. And so I got 4 right there. There's a nice one right here. Yeah, it looks like, you know, panning for gold here. And there you have it. Just from this one small area right here, I planted a bunch of potatoes that were destined for the compost heap. They were little bitty guys, but they had little eyes and they wanted to grow. And this is the crop that I got from just this little small area here. I got more potatoes planted further in the garden, but they're not quite ready yet. But this is my first crop of potatoes. Now, here is a common problem with daylilies, is the browning of the leaves as the temperature gets hot. And it's nice to have these nice lush green leaves, but these brown leaves, they get in here and they're unsightly and they're not healthy for the plant. Most of the time, or a lot of the times, they are just from the changing of the temperature as the afternoons warm up. Some of these leaves will turn brown, but there's another problem and cause as well, and that's called daylily rust. And it's a fungus, and if not controlled, it will take over an entire area. So what you want to do is control the fungus. You could spray with a copper type fungicide and other products that will help the plant fight off these fungus. It's also important, if you can, don't let the plants go to bed wet at night. But in this climate, that's going to happen regardless because we get so much dew out here. It's going to be wet throughout the nighttime hours. But what you want to do when you see something like this is you need to clean it up. And you just got to start pulling off these dead branches. And keep in mind, if you pull off one at the base, there's a complement on the other side. Even if it's green and you pull this side off, the complement leaf on the other side will eventually die. So keep that in mind when you're pulling off the leaves. Make sure you get them all. And you just got to start pulling away. And it takes a little time and effort, particularly when you have about 300 daylilies out here like I do. But anyway, pulling them off and cleaning it up. And what you want to do with these leaves here is you do not want to compost them. No composting. These could have funguses on it, and or is it fungi? Anyway, throw these in the trash. We have a yard waste pickup in our neighborhood every week, and I put that in with the yard waste and picks up and takes it over to their landfill and decomposes from there. These aren't too bad. I mean, it doesn't look like rust, but they got burned nonetheless. Some varieties are more prone to this than others, but be happy if you don't have this problem. If the weather stays cool, you're not going to have this problem, but here in the Savannah area, it gets mighty hot, and we got a lot more heat on the way. Anyway, I'm just going to clean this up, and I'll come back to you when I'm all done. All right, there's the before and after. And look at the difference. Before, after. See, it looks a lot better. Also, when you spray your daylilies for the fungus, using the fungicide, don't do that during the daylight. You don't want the sun burning. You can do that at night. I use my sprayer at night. Plus, if there's any insecticide in there, and it's not a bad idea to mix in some insecticide, it won't be affecting the bees if you spray at night. Plus the fact that if you let the fungicide dry at night, overnight, it'll be absorbed more so in the plant instead of being evaporated away from the sunshine. Plus the sun won't burn your plants that way either. So I see I missed a leaf right here. Let's get this guy. See, a little brown there. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I always love strolling through the garden, showing off the garden, and I get a great amount of pleasure each day by grooming the garden. That's deadheading the daylilies that they bloomed yesterday. The ones that bloomed yesterday, they'll look like pop balloons the next morning. And to groom the garden, you want to pop those dead blooms off and allow the new growth to let them shine in their glory as well. And the Heavenly Backyard Garden, one of the things I produce on this channel, this is my weather and nature channel, and I'm eventually going to be migrating all the garden videos to my new channel that I'm developing, Pat's Heavenly Backyard Garden, and that'll be coming soon. So this channel will eventually be nothing but weather and the sky, like what's up in the sky at night, the moon, the stars, the planet, what can you see up in the sky at night, plus the weather conditions when weather patterns are changing and affecting our region, whether it's the heat or the cold, storms in particularly, and in very particular the hurricane season. So all that on this channel, weather and nature. Then I have my telescopes out here for my Heavenly Backyard Astronomy, and I'm just amazed at what I can see from my own backyard with the telescopes here, and that you can find right here on my Heavenly Backyard Astronomy channel. So with that in mind, I hope you like this channel, and if you do, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you like this video, and share this video as well to your friends to let them know, well, I'm here in the backyard garden. So with that being said, enjoy the views, and I'll see you a little bit later.